All right, well, I'm home from work and I'm ready to work. The rain has a different idea than that though. It's raining pretty hard and there's lightning and thunder and all that stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I can do that's inside. So maybe we'll go do some sheetrock. It'll probably be nice and hot and humid in there, but it should be dry. But first, since I went to work so early, maybe a nap. We'll see. All right. Well, the rain has pretty much stopped. Still a little drizzly here and there. But the sun is out and it's baking hot already. That short little storm we got though, 5/8 of an inch of rain. There you go. One of the things we do a couple times a month or so is we prepare the cat food for the cat feeders. We don't use just one bag of food for all the feeders. We use 2 bags. One's a little more nutritious than the other. One's a little more filler than the other because of the amount of cat food we go through. And we mix those bags in 5-gallon buckets. It's easier to carry the cat food out to the garage and the cat house in 5-gallon buckets than it is 40-pound bags. So there you go. So that's what I'm going to do right now because it's kind of soggy outside and I'm just not ready to go in and start doing sheetrock. So right now we got to take care of those cats. So let's take care of the cats. All right, well, that's the cat mixing program. Anyway, did I tell you it was hot now? The sun's out. I am dripping like I just walked out of the shower. Let me tell you, I'm not that refreshed. I don't know that I'd want to be near me. Anyway, I'm going to take the bucket and the 2 bags over to the garage. We'll fill the cat feeders there and finish filling the bucket back up. Oh gosh, that didn't work. Manny, is that you? It is you. You're a whiner. Little crier. Cry, cry, cry. Manny's gonna cry. This here is Manny. Now Manny is a fierce hunter and he plays really rough and tough. And I named him Manny. I don't know, because he just kind of struck me as a little miniature Italian mobster. So I named him Manny. Anyway, he also is one of the most vocal cats that we have. He walks around just meowing and meowing and meowing. So, not sure I gave him the right name. Look at the moms. Hi, moms. How you doing, Sylvie? Callie? Stripes? The girls doing okay? Well, that's what it's like, mixing cat food and filling the feeders. Exciting, I know. But hey, one of the funny things is they're used to this food, so they get excited and they come running in, but they nibble, and then they just kind of meander around because they're really not that hungry. But they also get mice. But what's hilarious is out in the cat house, Brenda will go out there and their food's out, and they're eating a little bit, not too much, but they're just kind of picking at it, and then she will take like a handful of kitten chow and just sprinkle it on top real lightly on each of the bowls in the tray, and they just freak out. Man, they just get so excited. They all jump in there and shoot, it looks like a prison scene. It's crazy. They're just all over the place. And then they eat all the regular food too, because I don't think they really know the difference. They just think the one is a treat, so it makes them really excited. Anyway, it's kind of fun. Okay, I know I'm supposed to be sheetrocking in there, but it is hot in there. So we're going to go do something else. We're going to go out to the orchard. Let's go do that. Okay, I had to get a cover for the camera because it started raining again. The rain is supposed to be done, but it's not done. That's the one thing about the South I really like. When it rains in the summer, it's beautiful outside. Anyway, right behind me there, you can kind of see it. Hard to tell from your angle, but we've got Bart Simpson hair on a tree stump. Don't like it. It's got to go. There's something else that's been bugging me out here that I need to get done. Provided it doesn't rain too much harder, we can keep going. So far the camera looks like it's staying dry. My microphone on the other hand, I don't know. I'll put it more under my neck. Maybe it'll stay drier here. Let's see. Anyway, there was a burn pile out here and we've been using it for 2-3 years. Well, it's time for that burn pile to go away. I burned everything I needed to last time. I'm going to scoop up the ashes and the stuff that didn't quite burn all the way, put it in the wheelbarrow. We'll take it out and throw it in the real burn piles. For those of you that are new to wheelbarrowing, one thing to remember when you're loading up a wheelbarrow, especially with wet stuff like I just did, make sure you put most of the load up in the front of it where the wheel's at. That way when you pick it up, it's not as heavy. It's a little floppy, but just don't overload it and put most of the weight up front. You'll be a lot happier. Just saying. Oh yeah. Let's go over to the burn pile now. Get rid of that stuff. One of the things that keeps going through my head while I'm out here, and it's raining, one of the many things being, will the microphone survive? Will the camera survive? Will I survive? Well, yes, I'll survive. Of course I'll survive. It's beautiful out here. It's glorious. But what's going through my head is singing in the rain. So if you remember, the other day, I was trying to put the ground anchors in for these cottages to make sure they don't go floating off their piers. Well, and I ran into trouble. Even my big 1/2-inch full electric wouldn't work because the ground was just too hard. But hey, it's been raining. Let's see if it'll work now with this. Never know. Okay, not going to work with this. Silly to try, I know, but I tried anyway. A little reticent to get the extension cord out and the electric drill in the rain. I don't know why. Call me crazy. But I'm going to try it anyway. What the heck? It could be a shocking experience. We'll see. Maybe an umbrella. Well, okay. It wasn't a total failure. It went down a few inches more, but it's still got to go a few inches more, and it's not going to with that drill. Or in that ground. So I think what I'll do is we'll switch to the other side of the cottage and see if I can get a couple in on that side, because it could be that I'm on a tree root right here. And if that's the case, that could be a problem. You may end up with an extra anchor that we don't really want there, but that's okay. We got to do what we got to do. So let's go over to the other side of the building and see if it's possible to get it in over there. If not, we've got other buildings we can try. I'm just saying. There has to be another way. I just thought of one. I'll be right back. That hurt. Okay, the manual job with a ratchet got me through the hardest part, and then it got soft enough that the drill would take over. So. Okay, I got that one in. That's 2 out of 6 for one building. I think I'm going to go over there and put the ratchet on that other one that's pretty close and see if I can get it to break through that last little bit. That'll give me 3 on this building. We'll have to see what happens. Whew, my. Okay, I need a bigger ratchet. This one's just too short. Let me run to my truck. I'll get a bigger ratchet. We'll try some more. It's a toughie. Okay, so this job was supposed to be quick and easy. Drill them into the ground, screw them into the sides. And it's turning in to be, well, like most jobs around here, quite the beast. Anyway, I got 3 out of 4 in. I'm not going to be able to get that one. I'm going to have to soak the ground, see if I can get it that way. I may have to resort to my 1/2-inch drive impact, you know, that you use for like taking wheels off cars and trucks and that kind of stuff, and an air compressor and all that. But I really can't do that while it's raining, while the ground's soaking wet. I don't want to bring my air compressor outside and plug it in. And anyway, just don't want to do that. Okay, I'm back. Miss me? All right, so I got the 3 out of the 4. I'm going to try this one that's sticking way up and see if possibly it just needs to break through a real hard spot, and see if I can get it down manually, at least to a point where I can get the drill on it and get it in the rest of the way. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's worth a try. It's turning really easy, which is very suspect. All right, well, That's one building complete. So 6 anchors on that building. It doesn't need any more than that. It may not need 6. I don't know. They're only going in the ground 1.5 feet, but they're pretty solid. So I'm thinking they're going to be just fine, especially once that ground settles in around them more. They're made of some pretty high grade steel. It seems like they're really tough, and they're powder coated, so they shouldn't rust. Anywhere the powder coating chips off, they might rust, but they shouldn't rust. And the anchor bolts or lag bolts and washers that I'm using are galvanized, so those shouldn't rust either. And it's underneath the lip there, so I don't know. We'll see. They should last a good long time. But with 6 in there, I don't think that building's going anywhere. If it does, the floor's staying put and the building's going without the floor. That's just my prediction. And we'll just pray that doesn't happen, because that would be a real mess. Anyway, I'm going to pick up my tools and see about moving on to something else. Or maybe I'll just move over to that cabin right over there. Okay. One of the things I forgot to do that I was planning on doing when I was skating away from the whole sheetrocking thing, which managed to do quite well. I haven't got a lick of sheetrocking done, but I've done a bunch of other things. So yay for that. But one of the things I meant to do out in the orchard was to fertilize the trees. Brenda has made up a new batch of fertilizer, so I need to put it in some buckets with some water and give each tree a bucket. Now I know it did rain, but the unobvious thing is that rain helps soften the ground so that it will absorb liquid better. There you go. That's my theory. And it's been proven before by me anyway. So that's what we're going to do now. Mix up some fertilizer water, take it out to the orchard and fertilize those trees. By the way, this fertilizer stuff, it smells so bad. I mean it. Really bad. And you'd just be lucky we don't have smell-o-vision. Oh, really bad. Just so you can thoroughly appreciate the odor of this fertilizer, let me see if I can describe it for you. It's kind of a mix of 3-day-old nasty diaper stuck in a trunk of a car on a 110-degree day, mixed with 2-day-old desert marching socks, the socks that people wear when they're marching, and maybe a little cayenne pepper to get the burn in your nose. Something like that. Too descriptive? Okay, friends. That's it for my day. A long one. We got some stuff done. There you go. Appreciate you watching. We always appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time on the homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it with your friends, leave us a comment. God bless you. Bye-bye now.